Hi Niharika, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Manjusha.
Could you please open your PPT and explain?
Yes, Manjusha, sure. Is my screen visible, Manjusha?
Yeah,
Okay. Today we'll discuss about the attribute dimension. Attribute dimensions are the special type of dimension that are associated with a business dimension and contain members that are used to classify the members of other associated dimension. In this attribute dimension, we'll use the attribute dimension in the following artifacts in data forms, in RTP, in business rules, in smart view. Coming to this creation of attribute dimension, what is an attribute dimension in general? Can you give me an example of an attribute in Amazon app? Yes, in Amazon app we have a categories like home appliances, fashion, and like electronics and goods. Like that, we have a categories, and in that fashion we have a clothing section, and in that clothing section we define it by the size or the shape of the design of the product. Like this, we define those at that clothing in the attributes of size and or the shape or the design of the project. That is of the Amazon app. Can you explain the difference between the standard dimension and an attribute dimension? Standard dimensions are nothing but the dimensions that are created while creation of the application. An attribute dimension are defined by this standard dimension. They are associated with the standard dimension. In which case do we prefer attribute dimension over standard dimension? Attribute dimension are used to define the characteristics of the data or the quality of the data, whereas a standard dimension defines just while creation of the application we do it. Can we assign an attribute dimension to a dense or a sparse dimension? Yes, we can assign an attribute dimension to a sparse dimension. Here, can you show me how to create an attribute dimension? Can you show me how to assign attribute dimension to a standard dimension? Yes, for this we log into this application, and here we'll go on the navigator and click on the dimension, and we'll take the product as the one. And for this ancestor only, we can create the custom dimension or attribute dimension. Here we click on create, and we give the name as color and save it. See, you can see that the attribute dimension is popped up here. For this, we add the child as white, and again add another one as blue, another one as red, and save this. Here the attribute dimensions are added to this. And here we can add this attribute dimension to the standard dimension. I'm taking this televisions as the one, and I'm adding the for this standard dimension I'm adding the custom attributes. For this we'll go to the edit, and we'll go to the attribute value. Here we can see that our attribute dimension is appeared here. Here we can add, or we can classify the televisions which color we wanted, whether this televisions must be white or blue or red. Like this, we classify the the standard dimensions. You can save it here. This is of the creation of attribute dimension. And we'll see the usage of attribute dimension in data forms. Can you show me how to use the attribute dimension in the data form in the page drop down? Show me of it. For this one, we have created, they told to take as a region, and this one I have already created that under entity. Go to the standard dimension. Here we can see that the location is created. Under location, I've created India, USA, and Australia and Europe. This we'll see in the data forms. We'll click on the navigator and open the forms. And here we can take the predefined form or the one which is created for this, edit it. And in the layout session, we can see that this attribute dimension which we have created now is also appeared here. And before one, it is also there. It is location for the entity which I have created. We'll see from each one where how it does appear or it displayed. Now I'm selecting this location in rows and we'll preview it. Here we can see that the location is appeared here in the rows section like this. We can select here the group also. I'm selecting India and US and Australia. And click OK. We can preview it. This decimals. And here like this, we can locate it in also columns. We can preview the page. If we locate it in the columns, we'll see that's India, USA, and Australia under entity EN05 New York. We can see these locations like this. And if we drag this and throw it in a point of view, then this point of view will look like, here we can see the location as like this. It is come in the point of view. And if we drag it in the page, we can see the, I'm selecting children and OK. Now here if we want to preview this page, here we can see in the point of view, we can see the location. From here we can select the location which we want to use it like this. This is of the forms. Here we use it. And coming to the PPT, this is of the forms. We have seen this and this also. Now coming to the usage of attribute dimension in RTP. Can we assign the attribute dimension or attribute dimension members in the RTP? If yes, can you show me how to assign attribute dimension or attribute members in the RTP? Yes, we can show it. Can you show me only a few attribute dimension limited in the RTP? Only show APAC and Europe from the about it. Here they want to, for this to be shown in the RTP, we have to click on the navigator and click on the rules. And here click on actions and variable designer. And here we can create a variable designer under global section or application level or in the cube level. I'm creating it in the cube level. I've already created one. Just now I'm taking the other one. Click on actions and add new. I want to add the if we want to add the location, here we'll give the names as RTP underscore attribute and give the member. Here the members had appeared as we have created those. Here see we can see the location. And if we enable the RTP here, we'll get to see the limit section. Here in the limits, we can limit the members in selecting the member. And we have 4 locations. I'm selecting India and Europe. I'm limiting it to only 2 members. And here also we can select the member or the function. I'm taking it as member. Here India and I'm taking it as India. And here we can select the Select your location. Select your location and click on Save. Here we can see that the attribute RTP has been saved here as RTP at. Like this, we will create the RTP runtime prompts. And coming to the slide, usage of attribute dimension in business rule. For this business rule to be run, can you show me how many functions are available to use the business attributes in business rule? For this business rule to be run, we'll go on to this rules card, and here we in system view we'll click on the FCCS application and click on the console, and here we click on the rules. Here I have created one rule already. We can double click on it to open it, or right click and open. After opening, these are the rules which we have created before. I want to give the another one. You can write the command like this, fix. Here, give the RTP underscore add. And after that, close it with the end fix. And then fix and save it. The rule is validated with no errors and is saved. Now it is saved here. We can see that this one is appeared here. And here we will deploy it by clicking on the deploy. If there are any errors, it will show in the background errors and warnings. If there is no error, it will generate the deployment was successful. Now the rule has been created and it's saved. For this rule to be seen, we'll close this and we'll go on to the application, and under this navigator, we'll click on the rules. And here we can see that the rule which we have created is appeared here. We click open it, and here we can see that this is the two types of attribute. Here we can see that the attribute value can be shown, and here we select the location. Here we can select our location by clicking on this. And here we have restricted the members to only 2 members. So only 2 can be seen here. We can select from this. This is about the business rule, uses of attribute dimension in business rules. Coming to the slide, next we'll see usage of attribute dimension in Smart View. Can you show me how to insert of an attribute in the Smart View? Can you show me a report with an attribute dimension? For this to be seen in the Smart View, first we'll open the Excel. Open the Excel, and here we'll click on the Smart View and click on the panel and click on private connections. Select the Smart View, and here we'll give the credentials. And this is open. We click on the application which I have created. We click on the form and click on ad hoc analysis. And here we can see that the form has been opened. Here, to see that the attribute dimension will appear, here we click on the location which I have given and click on enter and refresh. Here we can see that the cells has become blue. Now we can see that this attribute dimension of which we have created as location has been appeared here. This is of the attribute dimension in Smart View. In this topic, we have concluded the usage of attribute dimension in data forms in RTP. in business rules and in smartly. That's it from our side. Thank you.
Thank you, Niharika.
Thank you,
You
Manish.
can leave now.
Thank you.